There comes a moment in every man's journey when the silence between gestures becomes deafening. He wonders, does she truly love me, or does she love what I provide? This is where many men collapse under the weight of confusion, because they've mistaken giving for being, effort for essence, provision for presence. But here's the unspoken Stoic truth. A woman's deepest loyalty is not transactional. It is transformational. She bonds not with the man who does the most, but with the man who embodies what she respects the most. So today, we decode loyalty, not through poetry, not through fantasy, but through the lens of Stoicism, revealing 6 exclusive acts of love that only appear when a woman truly cherishes a man's essence. These are not things she says. These are things she does without needing to. Let us begin. Chapter 1. She honors his solitude. A woman in love with your essence will never fear your silence. She understands that your solitude is not absence, it is sacred. She sees your quiet time not as rejection, but as the furnace where your clarity is forged. She doesn't interrupt your stillness. She honors it, because she knows a man must retreat to command, and that your calm is not distance, it is discipline. Illustration. You sit alone at dawn journaling. She passes quietly, wraps a warm blanket over your shoulders, and leaves without a word. That is reverence. That is Stoic love.
Chapter 2. She stands by you in silence, not applause. There was a kind of loyalty that doesn't speak loudly. It doesn't come in Instagram captions. It doesn't post birthday tributes. It doesn't dance for the world's approval. It simply shows up when the lights are off, when your voice is tired, when your world feels like it's cracking quietly beneath the surface. The Stoics knew that character reveals itself in stillness. So does love. A woman who truly cherishes you won't always celebrate you with fireworks. She won't need to be seen standing beside you, because her loyalty doesn't crave an audience. It craves your presence, your essence, your becoming. When your goals seem too far, when your plans collapse, when you sit in the solitude of what now, she doesn't run. She stays. Not to fix you, not to rescue you, but to remind you, without words, that even if you've lost your edge, you haven't lost your worth. A Stoic man does not measure love by noise. He learns to observe what is quiet but constant. He pays attention to the woman who stays when the victory fades, who isn't impressed by your wins, but invested in your wounds. That's her second act of love. She stands by you in silence, not applause.
Chapter 3. She challenges you with grace, not ego. There's a form of love that doesn't always feel like comfort, but it is one of the deepest expressions of loyalty. It's the kind that doesn't flatter your flaws, doesn't echo your excuses, and doesn't let you drift quietly into weakness. It's the kind of love that challenges you not to change for her, but to grow for yourself. She sees the man you are, but more importantly, she sees the man you could be, the man you've forgotten during your war with the world. And she doesn't push you with cruelty. She doesn't compare you. She doesn't wound you with judgment. She corrects you with grace, like a mirror placed gently in front of your pride. Stoic philosophy teaches us this hard truth. No man is free who is not master of himself. And sometimes we need someone who reminds us, without crushing us, that we are not yet free. She notices when your standards begin to slip,
when your temper grows faster than your discipline, when your dreams shrink to fit your fear. And instead of staying silent, she speaks, not to shame, but to sharpen. Her words are not meant to dominate, but to elevate. She is not loyal to your comfort zone. She is loyal to your becoming. And that right there is the third act of a woman who truly cherishes you. She challenges you with grace, not ego, because her love does not compete with your strength. It completes it. Chapter 4. She respects your solitude and guards your mission. Some men need noise to feel alive, but the Stoic man, he needs silence. Not because he's cold, but because his soul is under construction. He's building something the world cannot see. A future, a foundation, a fortress of self-discipline, direction, and inner peace. And a woman who truly loves him, she doesn't interrupt that silence just to feel secure. She understands something rare, that a man's solitude isn't a rejection, it's a rehearsal for greatness. While others demand more of his time, she becomes a guardian of his focus. She doesn't pull him away from his purpose, she protects it like it's sacred. This kind of woman doesn't fear your stillness, she honors it. She doesn't get anxious when you need time to think, to journal, to build, to break, to return whole. Because she knows a man who never retreats within will eventually crumble without. She recognizes the rhythm of greatness, the inhale of isolation, followed by the exhale of impact. The world will try to distract him. Friends may misunderstand him, but she remembers who you are becoming. And she chooses not to compete with your calling, but to harmonize with it. This is no small gesture. It is the fourth act of love known only to women who truly cherish their men. She respects your solitude and guards your mission with the loyalty of a queen standing watch at the gates of a king's inner world. Chapter 5. She fights beside you, not against you. The storms don't ask if you're ready. They arrive, sudden, merciless, and loud. Life collapses, plans shatter, the weight gets heavier. And in those moments, you'll know who's truly beside you. A woman who cherishes a man doesn't wait for sunshine to show her devotion. She shows up in the downpour, uninvited, unshaken, unafraid. When life hits hard, she doesn't run. She tightens her grip on you. Not because you're weak, but because even warriors need shields. You see, loyalty isn't proven when things are smooth. It's revealed when the world is shaking. And a woman who truly honors her man fights with him, not against him. She doesn't mock his exhaustion. She studies it. She doesn't blame his silence. She listens through it. She doesn't become the storm. She becomes the shelter. There will be days your strength fractures, moments when the weight breaks your posture. And in that collapse, many will criticize. But she crouches next to you and whispers, "We rise together." She doesn't measure your worth by your victories. She measures your heart by how hard you try to keep fighting. She's not in love with the perfect man. She's in love with the man who refuses to quit. And because of this, She doesn't use your vulnerability against you. She turns it into fuel for unity. This is the fifth act of loyalty, not found in fairy tales, not heard in loud declarations, but quietly lived out in the trenches of real life. She doesn't become your opponent. She becomes your sword and shield, a fighter beside you, not a critic above you.
Chapter 6, Her love echoes in absence, not just in presence. There's a loyalty that whispers even when she's not in the room. A love that doesn't vanish when the door closes, but lingers like the scent of something sacred. You see, most people are present in body, but absent in soul. They're there, smiling, laughing, but the moment they're out of sight, so is their loyalty. Not her. The woman who truly values her man leaves echoes, not doubts. She honors him when he isn't watching. She speaks of him with reverence, not ridicule. She protects his image not because he's flawless, but because he's hers. True loyalty is proven not just in proximity, but in integrity. She doesn't entertain disrespect when he's not around. She doesn't invite the attention of other men just to feel wanted. She doesn't post thirst traps to fill a void because she knows her commitment is not a performance. It's a vow. In her silence, he feels peace. In her absence, he feels remembered. Not because she clings, but because she respects the bond. A woman who cherishes her man doesn't need to be monitored. She's not loyal out of fear. She's loyal out of principle. And in a world obsessed with validation, her restraint is rare. Her loyalty is loudest when no one else is listening. That's the final act. She proves her love by what she does when no one is watching. It's not about grand displays or public gestures. It's in the unseen, the unposted, the unspoken. That's where love lives. That's where loyalty breathes. And when he walks into a room, his spirit is at ease. Because even when she was gone, he never left her heart. The quiet power of loyalty. In the end, a man's deepest peace doesn't come from control. It comes from clarity. Clarity about the woman who stands beside him and what she truly stands for. The modern world will try to convince you it's all transactional, it's all temporary, that love fades, that loyalty is extinct. But they're wrong, because there are still women who give from their soul, not for status, not for favors, but because they recognize the gravity of a man walking in purpose. She doesn't love him for what he provides. She loves him for who he becomes. When no one else claps, when no one else sees. And the Stoic man, he doesn't beg for loyalty. He becomes the kind of man worthy of it. His silence carries weight. His actions command trust. And his presence calls forth the best in her. So if you've ever doubted what loyalty looks like, don't search for it in loud gestures. Look for it in the woman who guards your name when you're not around. In the one who doesn't need to be reminded of your value because she saw it when you had nothing. This is Stoic love. Unshaken, unbought, unmatched. If this spoke to you, if you felt the truth in your chest, then this is your path. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still believes in real loyalty. Next episode drops soon. Stay grounded, stay unshakable, and remember, the rarest love is the quiet kind.